Let go.
Turn up, 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 turn up.
Let go.
Turn up, 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 turn up.
Welcome back to Local Louisville Fighting. We are here with another episode, and who I have sitting beside me right now, he needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one. We have Mr. James Dixion. Now, let me tell you about this guy who has been to the mountaintop in this boxing game here in the city of Louisville. We have Freedom Hall. We have the Yum Center. We have the Iroquois Amphitheater. You brought the World Series of Boxing
yes,
here.
Sir.
Brought that here. So we have someone here that knows the game of boxing, not that anyone else doesn't, but we have someone here, legend, has done it, continues to do it, and is going to be insightful with what we have going on here in the boxing. So let me introduce you. Also, hold on, don't let me forget, father of Carlos Dixion, who was bad man in the city. Bad man in the city. Trained by his father, I would suggest.
Sir.
Yes,
sir. Trained by his father.
James Dixion, TKO Boxing Club in the building. I'm excited. You're going to be excited to listen to what this man has to say. So I want to thank you for being here, number one.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I've seen your show. Very, very happy for you. Proud of what you're doing. It's good to see somebody putting efforts in to get notoriety to kids and just the boxing community. That's what it needs to grow the sport. We need guys like you that's going to bring it in, interview the young guys, and give them some exposure so the city can start coming and, supporting them.
I agree. Totally agree. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, podcast, we waste no time. We hop right into it. James Dixion, first thing, what made you get into the boxing?
My son started getting into some trouble in school. Not real trouble, but, around the neighborhood, and he had too much idle time. So I said, look, man, you got to pick a sport. And it's a true story. He said, I said, I'm going to give you 3 or 4 days. You're going to tell me what you're going to do, and we're going to go from there. He said he wanted to box, and we started from there. And from there, we've started boxing in a garage at our house in eastern Jefferson County, and it grew from there, from some other people seeing what we were doing, and had some other kids. Braxton Carter was a guy, an older guy that came to the house, and I started training. Then from there, we went to Bang Bay, Selassie Bay.
Yes.
Back in the day as Travis, which his father and me grew to be very, very good friends. Love him, miss him. Hey, to this day, we've with TKO is the nonprofit side. We work with inner city kids. Every child deserves an opportunity to be successful. And the kids that come to my gym that pursue boxing, I want to do everything possible to try to make them Olympians and then great pro fighters. But we got to do it right. They got to get the grades in school. It's across the board. We got to represent our city from top to bottom. And I've prided myself on that. We've done it the right way, with a lot of the kids that I train as kids that most organizations probably wouldn't won, but I got great kids, and we've won. You know, we've placed in our regionals 3 times. We've placed second in our region with open fighters, and we've had several national champions, won the U.S. Open. But hey, man, through you know, Bang Bay and Carlos Dixion, they kind of set the blueprint. Now you've got Juicy Duncan, you got Sin. Filthy, which is one of my guys I love, and you've got a lot of good local talent. I think now you've got Troy just turned pro. Troy's got a bright future, very hardworking kid. There's a lot of good coaches. DeRico's been promoting and doing his thing for many years, and I never brought boxing back. Boxing's been here. I think that with when I started, there hasn't been a coach to really start a kid from the ground roots, build him to go up. And my son did win a WBC world title.
Big shout out to Carlos Dixion.
Yeah. So you know, Carlos brought a lot of exposure to our gym, along with guys like Bang Bay Selassie and a lot of these other guys that cut their teeth with TKO. And then you had Ross. These are guys, rest in powers, love Ross. So there's been a lot of good fighters, but I think that we did lay the blueprint, and we started from, hey, take the guys to the amateurs, build them that way, and get them ready for the next level for pro fighting. Then to bring in some boxing early on, and to get my son signed, and Selassie with Real Deal Boxing. It just brought an excitement to the city. Not that we brought boxing back. It's just that we had brought it in a different light and a bigger light. I mean, that first show out of Freedom Hall was a national broadcast, along with Evander. So I'm very proud of what I've done, and I think with 5-star Aaron Shekels, Nick and DeRico, even Abdullah, and God rest Abdul Jarvis, shoo bang bang. Hey, there you go, shot to him. But everybody's played a part in making boxing better. You know, when me and my son started going to national tournaments, they'd make jokes about Louisville, and then I noticed in years has passed, it's changed. I mean, there's a lot of good boxing here. There's guys that are promoting good boxing here and building it the right way. But you know, everybody has to support it, and we still have to educate the city more. I think there needs to be more exposure to bring everybody. You know, right now it's a boxing town. There was a time we had Tomorrow's Champion when Ali was fighting, and every Sunday you could tune in, and you could watch amateur boxing. You could watch, you know, you knew who was getting ready to come up from the Rudy Stitches to the Stones.
You knew who was next.
So that's something that I think we're all striving to do. Every single gym here is striving to do that. And the beautiful thing is they're keeping kids off the street. They're instilling discipline. Every single coach in the city, I tip my hat to them, because I know the struggles that to get a gym, keep it up, keep it running. It's hard work training kids. And I tip my hat to all of them. And I'm not a guy that done it first or was the first to bring it back. I'm just a guy that's trying to do my part and do it with class and win. Let's make no secret about it. I want to win.
Right. We're trying to win.
We're 100% trying to win. Just like with you. We could say that you're bringing it back from the time that we had Tomorrow's Champ, because nobody's doing what you're doing, big brother. And I tip my hat to you. I want to thank you. I've been tuning into the show. All of the coaches in the region, we need to support this man. Support his shows. We need sponsors to come up and support this man, because without him giving exposure to the coaches and the fighters, how else do we reach people? So it takes every one of us collectively doing it our way. Burger King don't make Big Macs. We all do it a little different. We're all making hamburgers though. So let's continue to make hamburgers good and put out good products. and just make the city better and the state as a whole.
Yeah, number one, I'd like to thank you for that. I appreciate that. So, two, I have another question for you. So you talk about the kids and what comes in. What do you, number one, if kid wants to come and fight with Mr. Dixion, I know we've spoken on this earlier, there's some ground rules that need to be set. So that's the first thing I want to talk. Somebody want to come fight with you. What's the rules you want to fight with TKO?
Hey, they just got to be good human beings in and outside of the ring. They got to have personality, but they got to be willing to work. I mean, we work at TKO. We're going to work. We're going to do it right, but it goes in school. Look, I don't think fighters hear this enough. In order to get sponsorships, in order to go, if you're an amateur and you want to go to the pro game, there's responsibility that if you want to get sponsors, it takes money to be a pro fighter. Before you make money, it takes money to make money. So somebody has to get behind you. So if you're a good student and you're a good human being and you're staying clean and out of trouble, you're more than likely to get sponsorships. And it's tough. Again, you have to educate the city, and we have to get more exposure to get big sponsors behind the guys that are up and on deck and the ones that are actually doing it now.
Right.
But in order to do that, you have to do it. But back to your question, you got to work hard in school. You got to have discipline, and you got to dress up and show up. You got to come every day, just like you go to school. You got to go to school every day. You got to get to the gym every day. You can't have bad habits. You can't smoke. You can't drink. Those are things to be a boxer at TKO. Now, when you get older, guys are going to do certain things, but when it's fight time, you got to put things aside. But to be a professional, you have to be a professional year-round, because you never know when you're going to get the call.
Right, you never know.
So that's one of the things I say.
Right, and another question. Tell me something that when you find a fighter, when you find a boxer or someone that you like, what do you look for in someone raw coming off the street that just walked into your gym?
You look, of course, athletic ability, first of all, and if you do that, the most important thing is the feet and balance. Without balance, you have no power. So you have to have good feet, and you have to have great balance. Of course, strength, and you got to be willing to work hard. I mean, boxers, I think this is how you sum it up. I think to be fighters are born. I truly believe that, and some guys just find their calling. I found mine with coaching. I'm a much better coach than I ever could have been a boxer. I'm just going to say that now.
Did you box?
No, I boxed. I didn't box. I boxed in the gym, but I never boxed and competed. No, I was a football player and I played baseball, but I'm an athlete and I studied and I was around the game. My uncle was a fighter. Both my uncles boxed. I was in the Marine Corps with Ray Mercer and a few of these other guys.
Those guys? All right.
So I've been around the game, and I was privileged to get with a guy, Les Bonanno and Pete Suzy with Top Rank, and got to work with them during the winter. Worked in construction during the wintertime. I would go and work the circuit with them. I'd put up rings, wrap hands, and that's how I kind of got more exposure to boxing.
Some of the grunt work?
Grunt work. And but when my son started, I became a student of the game, and I went around good coaches. Sugar Hill, went out to L.A. with Freddie Roach. I've been to every gym from the Mayweathers, but you got to get a guy that is willing to work, is athletic, and it's a selfish game. To be a fighter, you're out there running, and you're training alone. So I used to tell my son all the time, champions are made when no one's looking. You have to have guys that are willing to come in and put the work in. What a coach does is take that diamond, that piece of coal that's not cut into a diamond yet.
Right.
It's already a diamond. We just polish and cut it. We just keep it sharp.
Right.
For the bright light, see, that's when it blings the best. See, so
I love it.
I get my guys, and I cut and polish for the bright lights. Right. When I get a kid at the amateur, and every kid that comes in my gym, you're going to have 100 kids that come in the gym. 5 of them will be pro ready. That's just a fact. That's just a statistical fact. That's just the way on an average. Now you got guys that are going to be good amateurs, but there is a huge sacrifice to being a pro. This is a tough gig.
Say it again.
It's a
they
tough
don't understand
gig.
that part.
To go to the elite level in boxing. It's just like when you first go. When me and my son first started going to the amateur tournaments, we was getting our butts whooped. I mean, because we was a top dog around Louisville in the region.
Right.
But when we went to D.C., it was a whole nother level. Speed, strength, everything. My son was looking in the mirror. So I had to get better. I had a diamond.
Right.
But I had to get better.
Say that again.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So I had to learn range. I had to learn distance. I had to learn how to use your hands on defense.
Right.
I had to learn angles and understand if it's a southpaw, if it's a right hand, and then really look at the fight and not look at the fight as if looking at my son, I had to look at what my son was doing with the guy he was dancing with, because it's a dance. So I had to learn how to see if what's he doing off of the feints and where we going from there. You know, now on the feint, he's sitting down. Well, we're gonna shoot a jab, and now we're gonna give him the business on the two, and we're but we're not gonna stay there. We're gonna push back just a half a step, and if he does counter back, he's gonna get air, and then we're gonna push back to him with something. But those are levels of coaching.
Right. I was like, you gonna give away all your secrets today?
No, it ain't no secrets. You gotta. It's man. Look, I had to be seasoned like my son did.
Right.
It took years, but it took me I've never took my foot off the gas. When my son did, I fell in love with boxing. I love boxing. I love the kids that put their trust in me. I feel that it is a God-giving right of mine. If a kid gives me and has the courage and gives me his trust and has the courage to step in the ring, it's my God-given duty to make sure that he goes in and comes out safe as possible and can compete and take care of himself offensively and defensively. Because in this sport, you ain't always going to be the top dog. You're going to get outgunned some nights. So you have to learn how to coach on both sides. And that's something that I've took to heart. I live, breathe, eat, sleep this game of boxing.
Say it again.
And I mean, I love it. That's why Top Notch is right there. I try to live it. Top Notch. Top Notch TKO. Top Notch. You know. So it's more when these kids come in and they give you everything, and you work with them, and for years you develop a bond, and you know his tendencies. I know that Desmond's a pressure fighter. He ain't gonna have quite the speed of some other. John L is a counter puncher. He's going to counter punch and look off. My son was a stalker. He wanted to press the fight. When you know certain fighters, Anthony Hall, he's a pressure fighter. D is more of a boxer. You know, you got to know your guy's mentality. What does he like to do? Does he want to box? Does he want to counter? Does he want to pressure? And you learn to coach and adapt to what your guy is. That helps you match them better when they turn pro. So it's all learning and building from the ground up to when he gets to open fighter and then turning the next step to the pro level.
Say it again, Dixion. Drop that knowledge. That's the knowledge. That's that coaching knowledge that we're hearing right now. So on that tip, while we talk about coaching, let me ask you, because you said about the ups and downs, let me ask you, what do you tell a boxer that after he loses a big fight? How do you handle a boxer after they lose a big fight? It may vary from boxer to boxer, but on average, a general boxer thinks, how do you handle that? How do you handle your boxer? Just you give an example, or maybe just think of something that you may say.
Hey, man, look, I tell them every day, if you gave it everything you had and you left it all in the ring, then we're cool. But I've had guys to honestly be honest with themselves. If they've left some in the ring, then they have themselves to beat up. You know, don't get me wrong. I want to win.
Right.
And I know they want to win. And they're the ones in there taking, the shots. I'm not.
Right.
But I'm going to do everything I can to prevent them from taking as many shots as possible by coaching. You can't do that during a fight. That's got to be done months leading up. But I just tell them, hey, man, if you gave it every single thing you had, you put it behind you. Man, look, people's got caught up too much in this Mayweather era where fighters, and everybody's scared. I'm so happy that Ryan Garcia fought. He took the loss. He came back. He won a big fight, and he's as big as ever. Right. If all the greatest boxers in history didn't want to fight, we wouldn't have never seen George Frazier and Ali. We wouldn't have seen Hagler and Sugar Ray.
No.
We wouldn't have seen all these great matches. The courage. These guys wanted to be the best.
Right.
And guess what? We're still talking about them. They're legendary to the day. It's overrated. It's BS. I hate it. It's no place in a sport. Michael Jordan lost.
Yes, he did.
He lost when he went and won world titles. He got cut his senior year in high school. He came back. It shows. Year, but still, we all take losses. We take them in life. How are we going to address them? We're going to get up the next day. We're going to look ourselves in the mirror. We're going to brush our teeth, and we're going to walk out the door with a positive mental attitude. I do. And that's what we teach. That's what we teach these young men at TKO from day one all the way through life. You know?
Hey, beautiful, beautiful. I don't know if I could have said it better myself. I'm not coach. That's coming from the boxing coach himself. That's coming from man that's on the mountaintop. All right, so
not on the mountaintop. I got a long way to go. But look, we've done some things at a high level. But I feel the city yet has not. I think when the city elevates, I want to see. I'd love to see the KFC Yum Center one day sell out and have 18,000 and have all the top dogs in Louisville fighting the world. I'd love to see that one day.
Yes,
that would be a dream come true. Think about that. Could you imagine seeing all of our top dogs in the city taking all the top dogs around the world? I'm not talking about in the country. I'm talking around the world. Right. That's when we've reached a mountaintop. And I think I would be extremely happy and blessed. Don't care who does it. Right. I love the sport. I love the city of Louisville. I love Kentucky. I love representing. As a matter of fact, I got 3 guys going to the Nationals. We leave at 6 a.m. tomorrow. We're headed to Detroit. We're going to give them hell up there.
Right, give them hell.
Larry is a 3-time regional Golden Gloves. Larry Broughton, got to give a shout out to him.
Yep.
Rico Bigsby.
First, 3 that are going with you.
Yeah, and then we have Desmond Lewis. 3 guys that won the region that's going to the Nationals to represent this region at 132, 147, and 156.
Man, that's awesome.
We're very excited about it, man. You know, and it ain't new. We've been doing it. You know, TKO has been doing it. And I'm not saying that as any anything, but we take guys we expect to win. And Rico's, he's eight fights in the game. But there is an example of an athlete and a hardworking guy. He comes in the gym every day. He works his butt off, and he just won the region. And we're excited to be going to the Nationals. I know we're going prepared. We're in shape. And
preparation is key.
We're ready for the challenge. When we first came out, TKO. And this started with the original bandanas, and that's talking about, Silthy Finn, Bang Bay, Isaiah, Braxton Carter. Right. We had Terrell Hargroves, Mario Morello. We had all these guys, and they were all national champs except a few. Right. But we went and we won. When we went to the tournament, we expected to win. It was a mentality. And it doesn't say that we're better than anybody. We just had the mentality of winning. So, a lot of people will take confidence. I'm not an arrogant guy. I'm a very humble, reserved guy. I love my gym and I love my fighters, and I'm going to stand by them. But you'll never see me on Facebook or any platform being arrogant and being boisterous. But I am very confident in what I do as a coach. And I'm very confident as what I've done as a promoter and bringing quality boxing back to the city. And anybody that wants to, challenge that for what they've done, that's cool. That's on them. I don't get into that. I'm into building champions. And that's what I want to continue to do.
Feel that.
Yes, sir.
Feel that. So, all right, before we go any further, I've always said, great Abdul-Jabbar. Do you have an Abdul-Jabbar story for us?
Oh, man.
Just one that you can share.
Just the shoo bang bang, but Abdul's always been a class act. I actually texted him a few weeks before he passed, and I thanked him for, I was praying for him and his, to have a speedy recovery. But I thanked him for being a gentleman, and a true boxing man. And when I say by that is he always kept it boxing. He didn't get into the politics of it. He never talked about anyone, and he didn't talk about me, and I thanked him for it. You know, some people, I don't know, for whatever reason, you know, they get caught up. And, you know, I've been guilty of it when I hear things, but I know over the last 2 or 3 years, it's changed. You know, we mature. I really want to see the sport grow, and seeing guys like Abdul that's passed through, that's laid an indelible mark on boxing. He was a fighter. You got to give him respect and tilted hat. He was a good coach. He was a friend, and he will definitely be missed, and he will never be forgotten in the city of Louisville in boxing.
Totally agree. Couldn't have said it better myself. So what do you have coming up? So what do you have coming up? You have some things. TKO,
we got
some things coming up in the future. I know y'all do.
Yeah, we've got amateur boxing June 8th. We're going to be doing that at Ohio Valley Wrestling, where they tape for Ohio Valley Wrestling.
Okay.
We're going to be doing a show there in August. The dates are up on the site. We also got a show in October, and we're going to have a sanction for December. So we plan on going out with 4 shows. I've got 2 kids that we plan on taking to the U.S. Open, Dixion Anderson, Anthony Hall, and that's happening June 22nd. We're hoping to be in Wichita, Kansas. Both of these guys fighting for a #1 spot in the country. And again, we leave in the morning, and I got Rico, Desmond, and Larry Broughton, and we're headed to Detroit to fight in the Nationals. But hey, if anybody's looking and you want to get your kids on the June 8th show, hit us up on Facebook, TKO Boxing. Let's try to have a good show, get our kids matched, you know, from the little kids to open fighters. Let's make it happen. And there's going to be 3 more shows this year. And then after we streamline these four shows, amateur shows, I'm looking to do pro-am shows at the same event, and we're locked in for the next 2.5, 3 years at Ohio Valley. It seats 550 people. They're going to sell out quick. My guys sell tickets. I'm going to be selling tickets. So, you know, I want to give a shout out to the Police Athletic League for supporting TKO. They're actually supporting a lot of these kids that are going to the Nationals, inner city kids. I got to give a shout out to them for the support they're giving to a lot of the kids, you know, couldn't afford to come and do this. They've really picked up and done a fabulous job with the kids and supporting us there. I want to give a big shout out to them. And I think I haven't forgotten anybody. And just the whole boxing community in Louisville, and all the guys that are taking guys to the National. I know Jeremy's taking a winner of the National. Jeremy, and then you got Nick that's taking Nassil. I wish them the very best up there. We'll see them up there competing. There again, you got 5 guys from Jeffersonville, Louisville, you know, representing at, you know, the areas to representing the National. So I tilt my hat to both of those coaches. Great coaches. Nick's doing a hell of a job with promoting. So, again, no hate to anybody, all love. Let's just keep it boxing, and let's keep building these young guys to be future world champions.
It's great, yes. So we're all rooting for you. We're all rooting for you and your kids. City of Louisville's behind you all. City of Louisville, we're behind the other 2 coaches, Nick, Jeremy. Guys, we hope that everyone goes up there and represents for the city and knocks them out.
Hey, man, I want to again thank you for having me. I appreciate what you're doing for boxing. We need this. Continue to put up the good work. We need to get some sponsors to get in and sponsor and represent this, so this man can continue to represent the city in a quality and classy way. And again, thanks. My hat goes out to all the coaches, and I look forward to seeing you on my show June the 8th. You said it, June the 8th. It's going to be TKO back, and when you come back June the 8th, and we want you to come back anytime. You have anything to say, anytime that you want to come and promote anything, we want you right here. So I want to thank you for that. This won't be last time you see Mr. Dixion. I hope not. I hope not. Right, won't be last time you see Mr. Dixion. So anything else you'd like to say before we go? No, just want to thank all the coaches. All the coaches represented at Indiana. We had a bunch of novice winners that came out of the city of Louisville. Abdul's doing a fantastic job. Abdullah over there with his gym. And Aaron Shekels, a lot of good coaches. If I miss anybody, please apologize.
Don't hold it against him.
Core, of course, Nick is doing his thing over there with Select Boxing. Right. And let's just continue to keep this boxing thing rolling in the city.
Let's keep it rolling. Let's keep it going, and let's blow it up. And, of course, come back. We're going to have a few TKO boxers in here, and we'll let them say what they think of Mr. Dixion here.
All right, man. Thanks, brother.
Hey, man, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
It's been a pleasure.
Yep.
Local Louisville Fighting. We'll catch you next time. We out.
Peace.